Welcome to this episode of Ears to Hear. I read a quote this week that has just been on the forefront of my head, and I can't get it out. It's just too good. It's just too good. Welcome to this episode of Ears to Hear. I read a quote this week that I got to share with you guys. The quote isn't that crazy, if I'm being honest, but there is a word in there that has just been on the front of my head that I think is worth delving into for a little bit today. Focusing on my positive strengths can remind me of my infinite and indestructible divine worth. Indestructible, huh? Infinite, I think we know that. We believe that. If you don't believe that with your heart, I think it's important to get to a place where you realize that truly the worth of a soul in the eyes of God is priceless. C.S. Lewis said there are no ordinary people, that the person that is just the most seemingly ordinary and boring and bland has the capability, has within them the seeds of divinity, has the offspring in their DNA of being a child of God. So therefore our worth is infinite. I think the word infinite denotes ongoing, everlasting. It denotes growth, a number that just keeps going and going and going. And so I think when we think of infinity, although we can't quite comprehend that with our mortal brains, it's easy to go, okay, here is point A where we start, or so we assume we start. And infinity is like this, like it's a upward, onward scale. And so here we grow, and we do grow. But our worth is not on that scale. It's not that our worth is ever less than somebody else's or less than it is to our own selves at one point in our life versus another point. Our worth is not on a scale. It's unchanging. It already is of infinite worth. Does that make sense? It's already as valuable as it could be. This isn't the S&P 500. This isn't Bitcoin or Ethereum. This isn't VU. This isn't anything with monetary value. We can look at our trajectory, our track record. Yeah, I was looking at my Robinhood, and I'm down like a couple $100 this week. Like, and I dollar cost average every Tuesday. My money goes in, and I look at it. And my money went in on Tuesday, and I was like $50 less with the added money in. And so that's not how our worth is. It doesn't fluctuate. It doesn't ebb and flow at all. Indestructible worth. Well, what does that mean? Well, it's obvious what it means, but do we ever consider that? Do we often realize or think that our worth, that infinite price tag that is on us, is not only infinite, priceless to God, it needs to become priceless to us. It cannot be altered or destroyed. It is indestructible. And I think what that has done for me the last couple of days is I've just been sitting on that. It's given me this, it's more than confidence. It's not like a boast or braggy or pride. It's this steady knowing who I am. Who are you? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you were put here to do? I don't think God has ordained any one of his children to become any less than whatever their maximum potential is. Nobody is destined to become less than what they were designed to become. Believe that with every fiber of my being. So when you get it through your head that nothing anybody can do, nothing that maybe, I have some friends with some hard lives, nothing their parents have ever done, nothing a ex-boyfriend or girlfriend could have ever done, nothing a sibling could have ever done, nothing a coworker, nothing a person on the street, a stranger in a bus, nothing an enemy, nothing a teammate, former teammate, opponent, nothing any of those people could ever do destroys your worth. It is not possible. Sometimes we let it. We let the opinions, we let a social media comment section on one of our posts determine our worth for the day and how we feel about ourselves and our goals and our aspirations. How often have we had that happen where we let what people say about us affect how we feel about us, our self-esteem, our self-worth? A year plus ago, posted a TikTok. It was a dating thing. I had my opinions. They were strong. I had 7,000 women. I mean, I shouldn't share this. 7,000 women tell me what my worth was as a man based on a text thread I had with somebody. And for a day, it got to me. It did. When you have that many people telling you what's wrong with you, you're worthless, you're the reason, blah, 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 it can get to you. Friends, that's okay. You need to remember, none of that matters. Your worth isn't determined by externals. And most importantly, your worth cannot be destroyed by anything you do. Until recently, I might not have believed that. I can think of 100 things I do every week that if I had my worth listed at let's just say every week, I go and I partake of the sacrament, I commune with the Lord, and it's like a clean slate for the week. And here I am, and I'm at 100. I start at 100. Well, it seems like if 100's the cap, there's only way, the only way is down. It's lonely at the top is what some people say. And spiritually, what I'm saying, right, if you're clean, if you feel that peace in your life, it almost might not feel like you can get more. Does that make sense? And so if you start off each week at 100, you're ready to go, you're cleansed, you've been baptized recently and you're cleansed of all your sins. Well, the reason we don't get baptized again and again and again is because the atonement is proactive in our lives again and again and again every week. So if we're here, again, I can go through the list of things I do in a week that take that worthiness down, right? Maybe to 70 that week, maybe to 40, maybe to 0. And maybe sometimes in my life, negative. I'm in the debt, I'm in the red. That's not how this works. Nothing I can do changes worth. Okay? That just needs to get through our heads. And I'm passionate about this because I don't think we really have a good idea of who we are and what we're capable of as people. How many of us are just on autopilot, are just like cruising with no sense of urgency to become everything God needs you, wants you, knows you can become? I'm just sitting in this thought because it's just important, and I don't know what more to say about it, but the indestructibility is just so cool. It's so cool that we aren't powerful enough to determine our worth, that is pre-baked in as children of God. We are, as Paul beautifully declares, we are the offspring of God. We are literal spirit sons, spirit daughters of a Father who is in heaven, who loves us as an earthly father, as an earthly parent does. Spiritually, we have divine DNA. We are spiritual purebreds. 100%, that is fact. This isn't like ethereal talk, it sounds nice, like, oh, this makes you feel better. No. There's something in our body that makes us animate. If you've, seen a dead person, unfortunately, they are not an animate person. In that moment, there's something that should quicken them that is gone. Well, what is that that's gone? It is your spirit. Right? None of this is predetermined. None of this is like a simulation. There is a real living, breathing spirit essence, a soul in you that connects with your body, causes all of this to happen. That spirit is directly from God. our bodies are from our parents, and they are our stewards here on earth. Our body is our job here on earth to maintain, to take care of, to treat as a temple. What we put in it is what we get out of it. Don't smoke, you'll die. Don't jump off cliffs, you'll die. So I'm just trying to portray the reality that because there is something that you carry with you every day that we don't think about very often, but your literal spirit that is housed inside your body, that is the seed of who you truly are. And I've talked about this before, your real identity. That spirit, we feel that we hold it back by our choices. The choices we do in this flesh holds back the ability for our spirit to find that peace. I've talked in depth about sin. That is what sin is. Sin is a misalignment of deeds, choices, thoughts, actions that do not align with our spirit's ability to connect to our Father in heaven via the Holy Ghost. It's a very literal process. And so while our worth is indestructible, our worthiness varies. And those are close. Worthiness and worth, they have the same root. Worth, the determined cost of something. We've heard the analogy. A water bottle that is bought in bulk at Costco is 18 cents. Right? It was whatever it is, whatever it costs. Pennies, a quarter. A water bottle in a vending machine might be $1. At a gas station, $1.50. At a hotel, it's $3. At a sporting event, it's $5. At a concert, it's $15. At Coachella, it's $15 for a water bottle. I was at a Morgan Wallen concert in Vegas a month ago, and I spent $12 on a 500 milliliter water bottle. $12. That's 2 double doubles with onion and chilies. I know that's $11.58 for my In-N-Out order. Anyway, that's crazy. It's the same water. It's the same package. It's the same thing. A water bottle's worth is determined by its externals. Where is it being sold? We're not the same way. Our worth is not determined by external factors. It's already been predetermined by God as infinite, and nothing we can do or anyone else can do can destroy it. That's a recap. Our worthiness is determined by our choices. Worthiness isn't a measure of our worth. It is a measure of, are we tapped into our own spirit to create that peace by being aligned with the will of God, which is such that we stay near and close to Him for His guidance. God operates on eternal laws and principles that are namely a lot of what Jesus preached, keeping the commandments. God keeps those. He's not outside of His own laws. He adheres laws. Oh, that you're saying God can't do certain things? God could do certain things that would forego Him being God. He perfectly keeps the laws of heaven. Thus, He is God. Thus, if we're in the presence of God, we'll be very clear of our own filthiness. The theme of being clean and rid of our garments of blood and being washed white through the atonement is so prevalent in the scriptures because those are the laws we have to follow so that our worthiness can allow us to be in the presence of God. It's not that we aren't worth enough to be in His presence. Are we worthy enough? Distinction. That's the message today. Please know you're indestructible. You're infinite. Don't let anything or anyone, even yourself, try and destroy you or make you feel otherwise. Thanks for watching. We'll talk next week.